everyone. Welcome to the Holistic Birth Podcast, where we put the power in families' hands to have the safe, satisfying journey they deserve. My name is Allison.
And I'm Brigitte. We are two doulas who love bringing information along with inspiration to help you feel confident and powerful in your choices throughout the birthing year.
We cover all topics around pregnancy, birth, and beyond. We're so glad you're here.
Let's dive into this week's episode. Welcome back to the Holistic Birth Podcast. Today is episode 13, and we are going to be talking about eating during labor. So, foods that are helpful and why it is important to eat. Yes.
There are a lot of misconceptions around eating and drinking during labor. There's a lot of old practices that are still very much present in certain facilities. Others have caught up and they understand. But first of all, eating and drinking in labor is generally very safe and evidence-based. There are very rare situations in which it's not recommended to eat or drink. Unless you're going to need general anesthesia, complications from eating and drinking are not common. I think instead of diving down into that rabbit hole, I would like to definitely recommend that you go check out Evidence-Based Birth. They have a whole podcast episode and articles, I think plural, on eating and drinking in labor and the safety of it and the research
We can link it.
Yeah, we will definitely link it. It is important to eat during labor. A lot of people think that when they're in labor, like the first contraction they get, they're like, well, I can't eat. And you need fuel.
Yes.
Obviously, if something was coming down the pike, like general anesthesia, then yeah, like we avoid eating after that point. But you really can eat up until your body's saying, I need to slow down or change how I'm eating. There are different, I guess, things that we'll kind of talk about for like early labor versus active labor, like how to prepare and what to bring if you're like not giving birth at home. But yeah, so early labor foods, we tend to go more towards a decent sized meal, but not too heavy. A lot of people are worried about what they should be eating. And honestly, if you just follow your intuition, you're going to be great.
Yeah.
Because there's
Eat what you feel like eating.
Yeah. There's really not much beyond you that will tell you what you need to be eating. So most of the time, early labor is the time to, it's like larger than later on in labor, but I wouldn't recommend like a chicken parm situation.
Steak and potatoes, don't do that.
Unless you really like it and you don't mind tasting it
I have
again.
had clients do that, and they're like, I had a big bowl of pasta and like meatballs, and whatever.
But whatever, it's gonna be what you need it to be.
Yeah. If
ideally you are eating like a bigger meal, imagine that it could be something you might see again. So
yeah. Ooh. Yep.
So I would stay away from anything too acidic at that point.
Yeah, because the digestive system does slow down during labor, so you may have still the contents that's in your stomach earlier.
Right. And truthfully, it's better to have something in your stomach if you are going to get nauseous or anything like that than not having anything in your stomach. But that's why we're saying like decent size, but nothing too crazy.
Right.
This isn't the time to like do all the comfort food in the world and but yeah, so snacks are really the way to go for most of the labor. Early labor is when you probably would start seeing them a lot. A variety of options is really ideal. So try to think about things that are salty versus sweet, chewing required versus chewing not required. Try to think about like variety. Early labor you could do things like pretzels, granola bars, apple slices. You could do like yogurt or trail mix, bone broth, really anything that's tickling your fancy. And that's why if you are going somewhere else to give birth rather than at home where you might have more of your options all available, bring a whole bag of snacks.
Yes. So for active labor, you're going to be feeling probably not like eating as much during this time, but it's still a good idea to try to at least get something in your body because your uterus is working super hard. You are working super hard because your uterus is a muscle, so it's contracting, a lot and you are expending a lot of energy. So you definitely want to keep yourself going. So having like little things like honey is actually one of the best things to eat because it's really easy to digest. It's loaded with antioxidants and vitamins and minerals, and you can get those cool little honey sticks that you just open and, suck the honey right out of them. So honey is just excellent for labor. So
as a doula, I definitely carry those in my bag.
Me
I'm
too.
sure you do too.
I do too. Yeah.
And I've definitely in a pinch been like, I need to just do something real quick, and the honey stick it is like, it is a magical food during labor. It is a magical food, even yes, for other people who are supporting you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, honey has all sorts of amazing benefits, but it's amazing for active labor. And then dates is one of my favorites. They taste amazing. They almost have like a caramel taste to them, and they're also loaded with sugar to give you energy and carbohydrates, and also minerals. They have all sorts of stuff in them. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they also have a chemical in them. I don't know if you know what it is, Allison, or not, but
I don't remember
there's a chemical that is in them that helps with cervical dilation. So eating dates, like even a few days before you might be going to labor, but especially during labor, is awesome. So I always recommend them.
And even eating dates, which I think we might have talked about already before, but starting eating dates at like 36
exactly.
weeks.
Yeah.
Usually like 6 a day is usually the recommendation.
Yeah.
But it might be something you're already accustomed to and already really like as part of your day. So
yep. I eat them. I mean, I'm not pregnant, but I eat them. They're so good. Great bedtime snack.
Yeah. Pop a little protein like peanut butter or something.
Exactly. Peanut butter or butter with like some salt. Oof, it's like eating birthday cake. It's so good. It tastes just like birthday cake.
Wow. How fitting.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Yeah. And then bone broth is really good. You can actually get, instead of like bringing like you can pre-make it, of course, or you can buy it like at the store. They have some really good like organic bone broth, like chicken or beef, whatever you prefer. But you can actually get packets. It's like comes in a little powder, and you just add it to water, shake it up, and it dissolves, and you can do that. And that's really awesome to like take to the hospital with you, so you don't have to worry about like refrigeration or any of that stuff. It's just
And that's like a gateway into like hydration. Like there's really, I mean, that gives you like some content to hydration, but that obviously is huge.
Yeah, we got to mention that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like adding electrolytes is really good. You can make your own electrolyte drinks too, with like even just getting coconut water. You can just bring coconut water with you, or there's good ones. I think Kristen actually mentioned a really good brand when we interviewed her. She talked about Good Anya, which is actually a coconut water like base, but it has also vitamins, minerals. But definitely, you can do just water, but adding the electrolytes just gives you that extra amount of minerals and gives you that extra boost. So
like
definitely
pink Himalayan salt or liquid IV, that type of stuff.
Yeah. Yep. LMNT is another one. Redmond's Relight is another good one. So
different options for hydration will be good, because sometimes you might just want something that's going to feel easy on the stomach, and it would feel like you're tasting something as well. So the bone broth is a great option for that. Yes. And then also, staying hydrated and like good electrolyte balancing and getting lots of minerals and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Really good.
Yeah. Yogurt's also a great option. Yogurt is just a nice, gives you lots of energy. It's got the dairy in it, so it's good. Some people don't like yogurt, but it does help. So hard-boiled eggs, like I'm always on the fence about this one, because like I don't particularly like hard-boiled eggs. I'm thinking like if you do vomit and you vomit up eggs, it's not the best thing. But with that being said, eggs are amazing, and they do give you a ton of energy. They have all sorts of minerals in them and everything. So even I always recommend eating eggs during pregnancy, just because it has like everything you need. If you could literally live off of eggs. So. And hard-boiled eggs are easy because they're travel, so you can just like throw them in your bag, that kind of thing. Right. But, some people are like, ew, they kind of can repeat on you if you burp and stuff. So,
it's funny
do what works for you.
It's funny that you say that, because many times at like home births or birth center births, if I don't sit well still. So I'm a good space holder, but if it seems like there's some good bonding going on and baby's been born and they're just kind of like snuggling and settling in and working on the first latch, that they're just kind of like, wow, like, okay, the lock and the key is working and they're kind of just riding it out. I usually start tidying or doing other things, but I could count on both hands probably more. Maybe how many times I've gone to make someone scrambled eggs after birth.
Yeah.
It's a really good post-birth meal.
It is. Yeah. Post-birth, it's awesome.
It's really good
usually,
post-birth too.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's usually a lot of people's go-to, like that with pancakes or something, you know. It's a good one.
Yeah. I've made a couple quesadillas.
Nice.
They're like, I just want a quesadilla. You got it.
You can have a quesadilla.
All right. Well, I think the supplies, I was like, don't worry about it. I will find it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, eggs,
that sounds
eggs
delicious. It's making me hungry.
All this food. Yeah.
Yeah. All the food talk.
Yeah.
And then you can also make your own granola bars. I do kind of advise people to stay away from like store-bought granola bars just because they do have some like preservatives and yucky things in them. But if you're in a pinch, you can obviously find some good brands out there to get. But making your own is super easy. You can make them ahead of time. There's some great recipes out there. I can probably throw a little link in there for those who want to make their own. They don't have to go searching. I can throw one in there. So, and yeah, we talked about electrolytes. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
I would definitely, when you're touring a facility, and it's very good to know about like what are their policies, what are you kind of like walking into, and as far as like what's their default. There are some hospitals that are so good at, like let's get you some food, or you can have.
They'll encourage it.
Like they want to make sure you're staying eating. Same thing with your partner. Sometimes they try to really take care of partner too, which is also sometimes the job of the doula. We try to make sure that everybody's fed. Everyone's fed and hydrated and everything. But even when you're asking questions about like how that kind of works, you can kind of prepare yourself for, are they going to be really encouraging, or does it feel like you have to advocate for some food, or obviously you have your own snacks. They're not going to come in and take your honey stick away from you or anything.
Yes.
You have the right to like bring in all the food that you want, and snacks and stuff. And most places you can do like delivery. So if you even if someone else is dropping off food for you while you're in labor, or if you placed an order for something and it was delivered to the hospital, like they see that all the time. And check if there's a refrigerator in each room. Sometimes there's like mini fridges in each room, so that way you can kind of know if you are bringing hard-boiled eggs or whatever it is that you would want to keep like refrigerated. You can pop those in your own fridge. Exactly. Or if there's like a hospital, like a fridge that's just for the labor and delivery unit, you can kind of see like what's the storage like. Should you just bring your own like little cooler or something instead? Usually you can store some things there. Usually you have to like label them and that type of thing, make sure they're saved as yours.
Yes.
But ideally there's a fridge in your own room, or you bring like a little cooler or something.
Definitely all good ideas. Do we want to talk about like afterbirth kind of stuff? I mean, you can really eat anything you want after you have your baby, so whatever you feel like eating. Some people want like a burger, or some people want pizza. Or
what is your victory meal?
Victory
meal. And sometimes you don't know what that is
right
until you're in it. I've had people where they like we're trying to prepare things for after, and they're like, I don't know what I want to eat yet, like don't take anything out or don't order anything, I'm not sure. And usually within the first hour or two you'll be ready probably to want to eat something.
Definitely.
So some people are really, really hungry after birth. I would say most of my clients, I don't know about you, but most of my clients.
Everybody has been.
And if your both hands are being like utilized for like nursing or skin to skin or whatever it is, like I've hand fed many of my clients. Like even if it's a piece of muffin or fruit on a fork, whatever it is, like there's some people around you that would happily feed you. Obviously you're very independent and you can do it yourself if you want. So no one's forcing you, but it's nice to just know that you have people that will wait on you hand and foot. We have no problem. No problem doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. So really whatever, like I said before, like eggs and pancakes usually people love.
A good omelet.
Or like even like a big sub. I've seen people do that. Like Italian sub seems to be pretty popular.
Yes, people are like, really I'm now in the mood for deli meat. Or I've had clients who literally bring like prepared like sushi. Store in the fridge, and they're like, I'm ready now for my sushi.
And it's like big sushi, so it's like delicious, good stuff.
I've had people that are like, we hate to bug you, but I'm like, where can I go pick up your favorite thing right now? They're like, great, thank you, here's the address, here's the what we've ordered. Great. We really like it when you are well fed after you've worked very hard. You just ran a marathon and then some.
Totally.
So
you deserve to be fed and fed well. So for sure.
Yeah. Sometimes after cesarean birth, you do have to slowly ease into eating things.
Yeah, true. Yep.
You kind of want to go easy on your stomach. So usually it starts with like, you could do some, I don't know, like Jello or broth or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then ease into like crackers or, like a little bit of fruit or a granola bar or something. And then, yeah, you could go into like the subs or whatever, but it's good to kind of like ease out of that, ease your body into it.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
Guess, so to speak.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And actually back to active labor, I forgot a couple of more. So
Sure.
Definitely like cheese and crackers is just what triggered me to think of it. So like cheese is really good. Again, it has protein, carbs. So cheese is also a great option.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely crackers. It's really whatever you kind of feel like if you want to spend the energy chewing, or if you just want something you can just swallow and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
But yeah, cheese was definitely one that was
cheese is good.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And chocolate. I've had some clients who have like
Yeah,
chocolate. They're
heck
like,
yeah.
I need something sweet. And yeah, I feel like having the proactive conversation with your partner too, like, is there anything that they want to make sure is thrown in the bag too. But making sure that you have things on hand when you're at home, or getting to know what your birth center might have for options. Like there's a couple good local ones to us that they just have so many ways to feed you. And it's great to know that you don't have to bring all kinds of stuff. Hospitals obviously will feed you as well. But usually it's great like at 3 a.m. if you're needing a specific snack and it's hard to find certain options in the middle of the night, specifically from the hospital or at a store. Then bringing your own stuff is good. So
for sure.
Yeah, try to think about, like we've talked about, things that are easy to eat, or maybe you don't mind chewing, maybe you want to crunch on something, or maybe you don't. Think of things that are a little sweeter, a little saltier, a little savory, whatever it is. And there's some ways to like combine things, like bone broth. That's great, easy to chew. It's you just swallow it.
You just swallow,
and it's like it's more salty versus like apple slices that are sweet and a crunch. You know, like it's good to kind of think about what you might be in the mood for, and having a variety is great.
Yeah, definitely. And then just thinking of things too that are like easy to digest too, because like your digestion is slowing down, and your everything is gonna shift and move once baby's out, so your guts are just gonna kind of all go back to where they should be over time. So having things that are easily to digest are a good idea too. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, pay attention to the show notes for anything we've talked about. We'll definitely link some of the stuff we referenced in there. But we hope that you enjoy packing. For all this, I think it's fun to pack food always.
Well, snacks are always great.
Snacks are great.
Yeah.
Imagine you're going on a road trip. Like that's what, anytime we're road tripping, like we have our little list. It's essentially the same, besides like worrying about digestion.
Right.
It's the same thing. You need variety. So,
yes, totally. Yep. Yeah. Think of all things that like interest you in a normal day to day, but like again, like Allison mentioned, just like the sweet and salty and easy chew or not chew, whatever.
Right.
So.
That you could hold in one hand or like that
Yep.
type of thing. Especially if you're like postpartum and nursing baby and you're really hungry and you just need a one-handed thing.
Yeah.
But try to think about what might work best for you, your partner. You also, as a side note, could totally butter up the team that you're working with and bring them something too. I've seen a lot of nurses who are like, thank you so much for like whatever nice thing you made for them or brought for them. It is a nice way to really like show your appreciation or kind of help. Truthfully, if I've had a client who's like they've picked up a box of donuts for the like each shift, or if they've ordered pizzas for the like whatever it is, sometimes even feeding the people that are caring for you, it makes them feel very appreciated, and they kind of are like, oh, like I see the bells ringing for room 504. I'm gonna actually go peek in. I know I'm not the nurse, but I'm just gonna take care of it because they're so nice. Like you kind of build the relationship, and people like taking care of people, that it's like kind of going back and forth. So it's kind of a nice gesture too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we didn't talk about home birth, but I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. You have everything you need usually at home. So So yeah, we don't have to go over that, I don't think.
Yeah,
I think
there's
we're good.
like we said, just stock up at home. You don't have to worry about if there's a fridge or anything like that. You've got a whole pantry and
You do, yep.
and fridge to work with.
Yeah.
But yeah, just go grocery shopping ahead of time. You can probably have more prepared actually if you're at home because
Yeah,
you
for
have more
sure.
room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, and
Cool.
obviously anyone coming to you postpartum or for the birth, anything like that, you can ask them to pick something up as well if you're
for sure.
in the mood for something.
Yeah, your local restaurant or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Perfect.
All right.
Well, that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for tuning in and thinking about food with us.
Yeah. Well, now I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat something.
Well, let us know if there's anything that we didn't mention that you found was like a lifesaver during your labor or something that you are planning on packing, or we'd love to chat with you about options. And we appreciate you. And
always.
We'll talk to you next time.
All right. See you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. That's it for this topic. Thanks for tuning in. Check out the show notes for any resources or links that we mentioned today. Make sure to subscribe and follow us on your preferred podcast platform, and also be sure to give us a review.
It really helps us grow and reach more people who could benefit from this info. Also, check us out on YouTube and visit our blog where we have this podcast transcribed for you.
We'd love to connect over social media too, and we're just an email away if you have any questions or if you want to request a topic to be covered.
We hope this helps your mind, body, and soul in having the supported and holistic journey you are so deserving of. Embrace the power within you.